What's going on, everyone? Appreciate y'all tuning in here. So if you fly helicopters in Flight Simulator 24, you know that just a standard joystick don't really cut it, especially when you're dealing with the complexity of rotorcraft. So I'm going to kind of just give you a little overview and show y'all how I got a relatively realistic feeling set up without breaking the bank. So I built this to be as realistic and as responsive as possible without dropping thousands of dollars on like a full premium brand setup. So we're going to start with like just the heart of it, this cyclic. I'm running the Thrustmaster Ava base. It's got the F18 grip. I actually scored this base on Facebook Marketplace for $300 with the grip and the extension. The extension I'm using is just that the offset adapter that Thrustmaster sells. It kind of allows me some adjustability as far as the cant of the grip for like a more comfortable feel. It also adds a little bit of height, so it sits more where it should with my legs, so I can rest my forearm on my leg as I'm flying. So the trick for your helicopters with the Ava base, there's really not many videos out there on this. I used the Ava damper pluses that Thrustmaster sells. I took the cams, I left one of the cams in just because it didn't have an effect on it, but there's no springs in my base. And with those adjustable dampers, you can tighten them up on the X and Y axis to where your cyclic or your joystick will stay exactly where you leave it, which is a much more realistic feel for the helicopter flight. If I could go back in time, I'd probably try to get a Virpil grip and base, just because they have more adjustability. That's an easier way to adjust them, I should say, with the tension screw in there. With this Ava base, you got to take the whole thing apart anytime you want to make an adjustment to the dampers, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to get to. But it's very responsive, super reactive, and I really don't have many complaints once I finally got it dialed in. It just took forever to get it where I wanted to go. And then if we move over here to the collective, so instead of spending $1 million on a Virpil collective and collective grip, I went to eBay and I found this custom 3D printed one. It ran me about $250. Super happy with it. The design's nice. It's based off of, I think, an Airbus collective. I don't quite remember exactly which one it's based off of, but actually it might be an MD500. But $250 is super responsive. It's got a throttle control on it. It's got a throttle lock, a few buttons on it. I mean, it gets the job done. So for $250, you can't really beat it. The seller, he was super responsive. I actually had messaged him asking when it would be in stock. He told me when he was planning on restocking them, and then he actually sent me a message before he restocked them saying that he was going to post them on eBay again for sale, so I could snag one again before they were sold out. And down on the floor, we've got the Anatorq pedals. These are called Flight 1 Sim Rudder pedals. It is another stellar eBay find. I think I got them for $215. It's full metal construction. It uses like a bicycle steering damper. They're super responsive to the feet. The damper gives you a lot of adjustability with the tension on the pedals. And $215, I can't really complain for an all metal product. So yeah, all in all, roughly $650, $700 or so for the setup. We'll call it $800. Really can't complain there as far as the price goes. Now for my sim chair here, there's a center mount chair mount that I found on Amazon, and I just mounted it to the bottom of the chair and then ran aluminum extrusions out to connect the collective to that mount, and it's all sturdy and it flex and it works like a charm. So just bought a cheap chair and put all of it on there, and when I'm not using my helicopter simulator, I just put everything in the chair and move it into the corner and it stays out of the way. So pretty cheap setup. It's also a pretty good setup. Can't really complain too much for how much I've got wrapped up in it. I usually fly in VR, that's why it's so stuttery and shaky. If it is, I don't know, I might have figured it out by now, but it's not that stuttery when I'm flying in VR. So yeah, super happy with it. Can't complain. There'll be links to the eBay listings in the description, the bracket that I use from Amazon, and then I'll just link Thrustmaster's extension, the base, and the grip, and all that good stuff down in the description as well. So appreciate y'all tuning in to my video here, and hope you'll have an outstanding day or night or whenever.